from the streets of St. Pete to the beautiful sunshine of Miami. Round 5 brings us to Homestead-Miami Speedway, the last leg of the season before the Indianapolis 500. It's been an interesting season so far. Even more interesting for this man, Tyler Parker. His first pole position of the year. It is 3 in a row for Samsung Racing Team Impulse now. Sakura took pole position at Brno, at St. Pete, and Tyler Parker's got one now here in Miami. He's alongside Giuliano and Saldi on the outside. And as we look around, here's Sakura Shibashi, who won last week in St. Petersburg, or 2 weeks ago in St. Petersburg. You look at row 2, it's Gerard Perth and Stephanie Porter-Kelly. Row 3, where Ishibashi's at on the outside, she's alongside Nicole Lechty. Then you have Mildred Moon and Jace Clark. Almost got confused there. Simona Leroux, having carried the team's best finish for highlight racing, she's starting alongside BK Glover. David Russell carries the banner in qualifying for Phantom Motors, the team receiving upgrades after St. Petersburg, one of a few teams. But he starts alongside Isabel Espinoza, who is furiously trying to scramble to take the points lead from Nicole Lechty, who, despite having no podium finishes so far, still sits in the points lead by 6 points. Kinemitsu Kinoshita looking to rebound after a terrible finish at Brno and St. Petersburg. She's got to have her work cut out for her. She starts mid-pack alongside Alicia Kovalkiewicz. It's been a while since I've done this. Kovalkiewicz, her top 10 streak ended in St. Petersburg. She's hoping that she can rebound and start it up again. It's Keisha Fox and Andrew Draco, the 2017 IndyCar World Champion. Further in the back, then you have Christina Espinoza, Ronald Walker, Ray Taylor, Cody Blackman. You have a duo of Cat Devil Racing cars. You're looking at Cameron Jackson, the 19, and Kaylee Zappa on the inside in the 17. Then you have Patrick Marcelli in the 82. Bad luck has continued throughout the entire season for the 82 team, and it affected Esther Hofson in St. Petersburg as well, as she suffered a blown tire just 15 laps in the finish. Both of them will be alongside each other in row 12. Row 13, the last row of the field, is Natalia Kurachenko and Rachel Koivanemi. But it's all eyes on that man, Tyler Parker. He's got one Champ Car victory in his career so far. Homestead is a very easy place to make it to. We are less than 2 minutes from going green. This is a new type of tire. It's a tire that we saw in Motegi, but it is new than what we've seen in the past at Homestead. It's supposed to be a less durable tire. It's supposed to wear out quicker. It's supposed to kind of thin out the field quicker. They're trying to avoid as much of the pack racing as they can. And this is one of the proposed ideas for it. So it'll be interesting to see how drivers handle the increased tire wear, especially around super high speeds, 218 miles an hour thereabouts. Should make for some very entertaining strategies. It's still supposed to be a fuel mileage race. It's supposed to be pit for fuel, not for tires. But with the tire wear being higher, you might see people do the other way around, pit for tires and low fuel. There's two trains of thought. It's going to be interesting. We saw it play out a little bit at Motegi, and it kind of worked out for those that pitted for tires. With Homestead, all right, so you hear the command. At Motegi, it's more finesse based, where you have turns 3 and 4 are a lot tighter. It's even between the turns. So it may be a different strategy. But here they go. The field is running. 26 men and women will compete across 300 miles, 200 laps. This will go into the night. It is a transition race, as they call it. The lights will come on. The sky will go dark, but we're going to go racing. Two rookies sitting in the top 5. And Salty in the 22 in the black and white in the top of row 1. And then Gerard Perth in the dark blue and white on the bottom of row 2. Both of them easy to tell by the yellow roll bars. The Chevrolet Camaro pace car will pull down. They're coming out of turn 4. Waiting for the green flag. We are racing in Miami. Tyler Parker pulls clear of Ansaldi. Inside lane is the preferred line, but it is impossible to stay there for very long. Already looking to go 3 wide in mid-pack. Gerard Perth will lead lap 1. And you see how fanned out it is behind him. Nicole Lecty now trying to inherit the lead. She's got, looks like Mildred Moon behind her. Nicole Lecty getting moved up using the dirty air. Mildred Moon is about to lead lap 2. But there's Simona Leroux, the ace driver for Highlight Racing. David Wessels to her inside. David Wessels going to try and inherit it. Keisha Fox, no, that's Kovalkiewicz. Kovalkiewicz to the inside. She'll try to lead lap 3. We're going to have 3 lead changes in the matter of 3 laps. They are 3 wide, multiple rows. Lecty touched the wall out of turn 2. Ray Taylor led that lap, so all 3 LM competition cars have led laps in the first 5. Beautiful sound of the cars. The outside lane getting really close to the wall, trying to give as much space as they can. City Kelly looking to the inside of her teammate, Natalia Kurachenko. Kurachenko leads. Ronald Walker in the red and black. Cody Blackman in the black and white. See Kelly Zappa running really wide out of turn 4. Ronald Walker gets a lap led. Cody Blackman will inherit it briefly. Cameron Jackson's going to take it from him down the backstretch. It was 3 by 3 by 3. Now it's starting to settle down. Most of the 3 wide is happening in the back now. See Mildred Moon getting away from Natalia Kurachenko. Kurachenko looks like she nearly tied the wall. It is 3 wide for the lead. People getting impatient now, as there is a breakaway. The outside lane's trying to give as much space as they can, and the middle people that are jumping to the middle lane are just taking and taking and taking. Almost an accident there between Mildred Moon and Ronald Walker. Jace Clark led that lap. We've had 9 leaders in 9 different laps. This is Keisha Fox going to try to lead. She will do so. Andrew Draco now sitting up in P3. Looks like most of the pack has used the draft to get back to the leaders. It's Draco in the black and gold. It's BK Glover in the yellow and blue. Not a usual color for BK Glover. We're used to seeing the blue and white. Service King colors are adorning that car this time around. There's a car in the wall. That is an accident. That is Ronald Walker is involved. So caution will come out. They are racing to the line still. And it is Insaldi. Insaldi the Mildred Moon. So we'll take a look to see how that happened. It looks like Ronald Walker was definitely part of it. Ronald Walker and Cameron Jackson, possibly. So it's like those are the 2 culprits. We'll go back and look at it. Oh, this came on the backstretch. And it is Esther Hofson. It is Esther Hofson involved. So we'll have to see what happens here. This is a closer look. She just drifts high. She drifts high, and Cody Blackman tries to look low. She's going to tag the wall here, coming right back in front of the 93. Use some helicopter views there. There's Cameron Jackson is involved in it. Blackman, he's trying to keep himself off the wall, so he's involved in it. That's Koivanami, Hofson, Cameron Jackson's involved. David Wessel makes it through like a champ. Look at how close that gets. Tyler Parker made it through. That is a lot of saving there by several drivers to make that work. A lot of saving involved to make that work, because only a few cars really got damage out of that. This will make things interesting. Looks like the 97 of Ronald Walker is going to go a lap down at least. Cameron Jackson is 2 laps down for repairs. Those 2 were 2 of the cars that had the worst damage. And Giuliano Ansati will hold on to the lead as we get ready to come to the green. Simone Leroux came in. Ronald Walker is coming back in. Looks like for more repairs. Trying to keep from losing too many laps there. But obviously he is in not the best of shapes right now. It's Ansaldi, Moon, Clark, and Kurachenko. So it's a rookie 1, 2, 3, 4 right now as we approach lap 15. BK Glover is the first veteran driver. He sits 5th. Then it's another rookie with Gerard Perth in 6th. 2016 world champion Sefi Bordelli sitting in 7th. Patrick Marcelli sitting 8th. Nicole Lecty 9th. 10th is Andrew Draco. 11th is Isabel Espinoza. 12th is Sakura Ishibashi. The elder Espinoza, Christine, sitting 13th. Keisha Fox sitting 14th. Ray Taylor 15th. David Wessel 16th. 17th is Kaylee Zappa. 18th is Esther Hofson, who was involved in that accident. We'll have to keep an eye on Hofson to see if her damage is overwhelming, see if she's off pace. The lights are off on the safety car, so we'll go ahead and finish up going through the field as we get ready for the restart. Tyler Parker sits 19th. 20th is Kinomitsu Kinoshita. 21st is Alicia Kovalkiewicz. 22nd is Rachel Koivanami. 23rd is Cody Blackman. 24th is Simona Leroux. She pit early, but she was clear of the accident, so she should be fine. She's the last car in the lead lap. Ronald Walker is 25th, and then Cameron Jackson is 26th. Cameron Jackson's leaving the pit lane now, as you can see here. Ronald Walker's just now catching up. So all 26 drivers are still in it. We're going to restart this race single file. Pace car is going to pull out down the pit lane as we exit turn 4. And here we go. We're at it again. Now that the field has had the ability to kind of spread out a little bit on this restart, let's see how it goes. A bit of a gap between Ansaldi and the rest of the top 5. So he'll lead another one. It has spread out a little bit. It does look like it's Cameron Jackson, and so it looks like Leroux does have some significant damage, which must have come after the initial accident that caused the yellow. You can see on her front wing. Hofson is off pace as well, but still trying to hang in there. Oh, we got a huge crash. We've got a huge crash. Multiple cars involved. Cars immediately going down pit lane. We are going to stop that there. That is a tremendous accident. A tremendous accident. I'm only going to show this once, because this is an enormous crash. 4 wide into turn 1 is how this starts. It's Perth on the bottom. He's running 3 wide. Draco's moving down because he's trying to avoid the cars above him. That's Kurachenko up above him. It's Kurachenko who's in the back of this 4 wide. She's the last one in. And Jace Clark's up at the very top. Jace Clark's trying. I want to say he's trying to avoid the wall here. And he just by the wing isn't clear. By the wing isn't clear. And I'm not sure I'm ready to look at this. They try saving it. And then Draco hits Kurachenko. Kurachenko hits Clark. Draco goes backwards into the wall with a bit of help from Kurachenko. And Perth is in the fence. And I don't want to look at that. And Kurachenko nearly had it saved. And Kaylee Zappa ran into her. That is a horrible, horrible impact for the 34. That is Gerard Perth that ended up into the catch fence. So we're going to sit right here now. We're going to red flag the race here. And try to figure out what is going on. Because that is a horrible, horrible crash. That is a horrible crash. I will say that because that is a lot of speed. That is my biggest question. 209. 209 miles an hour going into turn one was what Gerard Perth was running at. 214 going into the wall. We're going to set a red flag here while they repair the fence. That is a violent, violent crash. You've got people looking at this right now. This is a very, very serious accident. So to put it in perspective as of what's going on right now, the what's being looked at now is the back of Draco's car and Gerard Perth's cockpit area, because there's not a clear way of looking at it. And I'm being completely honest when I say this. There's no easy way of looking at it. The best angle I've got so far, the best angle I got so far is from Kurachenko, and that doesn't quite do it justice. Um, so there is a lot I've got to figure out here. Um, this is a absolutely vicious crash. 214 miles an hour is how fast Gerard Perth was when he went to the wall. He took a hit. And there was nothing stopping Perth from going to the wall. Um, Draco shaved a lot of speed. Um, Draco shaved a lot of speed because he got turned by Kurachenko, so his direction changed. Perth did not. Perth took a near head-on accident into the wall. Safe barrier or not, 214 miles an hour is a nasty hit. And when Draco bounced and Gerard Perth bounced, they came together. And the question is, did they come together at the wrong angle? Last time Champ Car came here, 2018, we lost EC Gadget in I would say a more vicious accident. It was a faster accident. It was 200, I think, almost 230 miles an hour. Um, one of the most brutal accidents I've seen in a while. Um, this is in this is in opposite corners. Gadget's accident happened into turn three. This happened going into turn one. But the angle, the the G forces from the sheer impact and the distance is hard to fathom. Horizon AI have done work to try to prevent these sort of things, and it's hard to explain. Um, Draco's car didn't quite leave the ground. It didn't flip. These cars, if they go backwards, they have wing flaps on the back of the car underneath the rear wing that lift up to keep the car from going airborne. But these cars, the suspension arms and the tires and just the way that the car crumples, it bounces and it reflects a lot of energy. So Draco's car stayed planted for the most part. The back of the car went up, but it never flipped. Gerard Perth's went up into the fence instantly. So it is a very interesting scenario that we're looking at. A lot of innovations have taken place. The track crews are able to replace segments of of catch fencing in half an hour. Um, the way they're able to unclasp and reclasp and secure and tighten um, what is really chain link fencing um, is something that has had to be learned. Unfortunately, because of incidents like this. So we're trying to figure out. We're trying to see what's going on because Jace Clark took a heavy hit as well. He went from 203. When he hit the wall, he was going 180. So he was able to shave off speed, and then he did flip. Jace Clark did take a roll, but Jace Clark never touched the fencing. Yeah, Draco's accident was relatively tame, looking at his onboard. And some of the onboards behind the accident are pretty scary too. So for those that are just now tuning in, we are under a red flag. We are on lap 19 of 20. Oh, 19 of 200. My bad. For a serious accident involving Gerard Perth, Andrew Draco, Natalia Kurachenko, Jace Clark, and Kaylee Zappa. Going into turn one, Perth, Draco, Kurachenko, and Clark were four wide. Um, Draco's front wing touched the rear right tire of Gerard Perth and sent all four of the drivers involved into the wall, with Perth going head on into the wall and going up into the fence. Um, Jace Clark went into a pretty serious flip, but avoided the catch fencing, and then Kelly Zappa was involved after the fact when Kurachenko came down from the wall. So we are on lap 18. This is the second caution of the day. The first caution was for Esther Hofson going a bit too high, bouncing off the wall, and causing a couple of drivers to spin. There wasn't anything serious that came out of that accident. It was just drivers spinning and some wings being dented. But this one is a very serious accident. Um, and it's hard to tell why they went four wide. Um, that's not something you normally do at a place like Auto Club. From a place like Homestead, like Auto Club, you could do that. What it looks like is it looks like Jace Clark was shuffled to the outside, and Kurachenko didn't check up to let him back in, and that's all she wrote. And three rookies, three rookies involved in this accident: Perth, Kurachenko, and Clark. It looked like Perth went to the bottom. He was following Marcelli. Draco and Kurachenko followed the normal line. Clark was still slow, so he was in the middle of dropping back. And they didn't someone didn't give. Perth and Clark were the ones ahead. It was Draco and Kurachenko that were entering the four wide. And a lot of bad things happened with that. So they're working on cleaning everything up and making sure all the drivers are tended to. Hopefully, we can have an update on all of the drivers shortly. Kurachenko made it back to pit lane. Kaylee Zappa made it back to pit lane. The biggest question marks are Gerard Perth, Andrew Draco, which we believe is okay, and Jace Clark, who took a pretty hefty tumble along the turn one banking. I showed the replay once. I'm not going to show it again until we know what's happened. But it's not pretty. For those that want to go back and look at it, do it at your own risk. But yeah, we are under a red flag situation on lap 19 of 200 for inarguably the most serious accident we've had in 2 years. So it's this isn't this isn't something you wish to happen. Under any circumstance. I don't think it's anything you wish to happen. So um There's not a whole lot I can really say. Um, this isn't something, not something we were anticipating. I talked about at the beginning of the broadcast how, um, for those wondering, so I'm going to pick a car further in the back here to kind of put a perspective as to what this is looking like. This is on board with Ray Taylor. I want to turn the volume up back to what it was initially, so everyone kind of gets an idea as to what we're looking at here. For those that don't quite get the gist of it, um, the impact that Gerard Perth made with the wall was at 214 miles an hour. Um, Nothing looks pretty at that speed. Um, Ironically enough, you're looking at Kurchenko. She drives away. Kurchenko was in the middle of it, and she drove away. So did Kaylee Zappa. Um, with one race to go before the Indianapolis 500, this is putting a very grim tone. There's no way to describe it, really. So, yeah, it was the issue that I'm having isn't that the impact itself was high speed. It's the fact that when Draco hit the wall, he hit it backwards and his car lifted with the 34. Gerard Perth's car kind of was lifted into the fence by Draco. And the issue I'm having is figuring out if the rear of Draco's car, if the tire or the side pod did hit the cockpit of the 34, and there's no good angle for it. And that's what we're trying to examine and kind of look at is how bad is this really? Um, 6 inches. 6 inches is essentially the difference between having 5 drivers okay and not. Um, Draco Draco going backwards, the car lifted up a little bit. There's so that's what we're looking at right now. That's what is being examined at the moment. Um, and it is a violent crash. Um, so to put it in perspective, this is the moment right before impact. Speed's at the top. That is that's how rough this accident is. Um, and there's the angle. Because we'll walk back here. We'll actually walk back to turn 3. Because you see Jace Clark up at the top on the outside row there. He's shuffled all the way back. Like, there's nothing he can do. You see Kurachenko in the red, white, and blue, the Russian scheme. Draco moves. Clark's still on the outside. And as you can see, there's grandstands going into turn 1. But this is where the contact's made, and it just chases him up, and then around it goes. And this is what gets me, is it gets very murky here. Because Draco gets lifted up, but it's hard to tell if something hit Gerard Purce's helmet or not, whether it's a wing or something. Because let me go to Kurachenko. Where's hers? It's that angle there that made me question it, because the side pod is what I was worried about. And I'm going too far back. Um, because that's how his car comes to a stop. Is it comes to a stop with the the floor first. My issue was seeing to make sure that that his side pod didn't actually push into the cockpit, which looking on board with Korchenko's car, which is what I did first, is what it looked like. Korchenko is the red, white, and blue. It's the Russian car. The red is Jace Clark. Um, Clark Clark was a bit safer. Takes a tumble, roll, and then he just slides down. Clark's okay. Clark's car slowed down. It slowed down extensively because he automatically he starts rolling at 112, and then it just tumbles twice and then it comes back down. Clark shaken up, absolutely. The issue that popped into my head, just look at the impact with Perth. Looking at it live, it is rough. Um, let him live. Yeah, when we saw it live, it was it was rough. We thought it was Draco. We honestly thought it was Draco. So that was where we're at right now. Taking time to examine that, see what happened, because looking at it live, it was one of the grossest accidents I've seen on this game in a little bit. Um, at least the grossest one I've seen that's not been intentional. Um, obviously, you think about Venoline and you think about Gadget, those were brutal. But that was something bad. Um, that was something else. So we'll go ahead and get back rolling here. It has been almost half an hour getting everything taken care of here. We're on lap 20, by the way. We've been doing this for an hour and we're on lap 20. It is. If that's how this race is going to go, we're going to have a long night. A very long night. See the two lap cars, Cameron Jackson and Ronald Walker coming in pit lane now. It's Mildred Moon leading now. I don't normally set a time limit on these things, but I might need to tonight. Um, so we're should be getting ready to go green here. I believe. Waiting to see if the lights go off. And they will. Alright, so we will be going green next time. It is Mildred Moon, Stephanie Porter Kelly, then BK Glover. That is the top three. Then it's Patrick Marcelli in the black and yellow. Kinemitsu Kinoshita is going to be fifth. Christina Espinoza sixth. Nicole Lecty seventh. Eighth is Ray Taylor. Ninth is Isabel Espinoza. 10th is Sakura Ishibashi. 11th is Keisha Fox. 12th is Tyler Parker. 13th is David Wessel. 14th is Giuliano Ansaldi, who lost a lot of spots in the pit lane. Esther Hofson is 15th. 16th is Rachel Koivanami. Alicia Kovalkiewicz is 17th. 18th is Cody Blackman. 19th is Kaylee Zappa. 20th is Simona Leroux. And then we're down to 21st being Natalia Kurchenko, who's actually the back of the line. Ronald Walker's 21st. Cameron Jackson is 22nd or 23rd. But we're back to racing. Bit of a glitch there on my end. My apologies. And it looks like we're back to 3 wide almost. Blackman checks out of it. That is around the top 10. Looks like just outside of it. Immediately the field splits into two groups. Mildred Moon has got Porter Kelly looking to the inside. And it looks like Moon will still lead, albeit barely. Porter Kelly takes the lead now. BK Glover in the yellow and blue. And then it is Nicole Lecty in the Tissot red, black, and gray. Glover's not going to be able to lead this lap. I don't believe so. They're going 3 wide for the lead, though. Blackman to the bottom, trying to get to the inside of Nicole Lecty, will do so. Cody Blackman to the point. Keisha Fox to the inside in the blue and orange. 93 tried to make it to fence, but it didn't work. So Keisha Fox will lead a lap. Another lead change. Tyler Parker now sitting in the middle of the 3 wide. David Russell to the inside. Giuliano Ansaldi behind him. The field has spread out massively. Sakura Shibashi down to the bottom now. She's looking to take the lead. It'll be Ishibashi, and now they're trying to thread lap cars. Cameron Jackson and Ty Kurchenko almost contact. They held the middle, and the field split them. That was close. And they're going to try to do it again. Marcelli doesn't have room. Marcelli has to check up. Almost an accident. Christina Espinoza got really lucky there. Isabel Espinosa leads. Starting to get dicey once again here in Homestead. Portichelli has a gap now, as they try to figure it out for second between Glover, Fox, and Espinosa. Keisha Fox tries to take the point. Ray Taylor's in this mix as well. They are still scrapping it out now. We are past lap 30. Portichelli still on top. Portichelli, then it looks like Mildred Moon is just trying to defend second now. Nicole Lecty not going to be able to keep third. And Salty and Christina Espinosa. Mildred Moon staying on the outside as much as she could. Even close call there between LaRoe and Portichelli. Oh, we've got another crash. Christina Espinosa's involved. They were coming up on lap cars, but they hadn't gotten to them yet, I don't believe. There's several cars out. There's LaRoe. LaRoe had already been passed. Mildred Moon's involved. Oh! Christina Espinosa had an issue. Look at the speed at the top. This is Espinosa. She loses power. And no one has anywhere to go. No one has anywhere to go. She loses power and everyone has to check up. So once again, going into turn one, we have an accident. Why she didn't go below the white line is something that bothers me. Unless she was expecting someone to go there. Because she's just blocking her teammate. She's just blocking her teammate at that point. Look on board here with Wessel. This race is a mess. And Saldi now leading. Marcelli, who has had the worst luck all season, has almost achieved top half of the field by having his bad luck not activate until the end of the race. Unsalty, Marcelli, Porticelli, Ishibashi. You have Cameron Jackson in the mix as a lap car. Isabel Espinoza is in the top 5. Ray Taylor's sitting right behind her. Kaylee Zappa, who was involved in the accident on lap 19, is sitting in the top 10, sitting 7th. David Wessel is 8th. BK Glover's 9th. 10th is Tyler Parker. 11th is Rachel Koivanami. 12th is Alicia Kovalkiewicz. 13th is Esther Hofson. 14th is Nicole Lectie. 15th is Kinumitsu Kinoshita. 16th is Keisha Fox. Then what will soon be 17th and 18th will be Ronald Walker and Natalia Kurachenko. And then Cameron Jackson is 4 laps down, and he will essentially be 19th. So we are already down 7 cars. And who knows how many of these drivers have damage? How many cars are actually fit to race right now? Horizon has a lot to answer for right now. This is the first serious test that Horizon's have to deal with, and that is the backlash from this race. And Saudi pulls away at the start of this one. There's really only 3 drivers pulling away here with the lead. It's Insaldi, Marcelli, Porticelli, Ishibashi, Taylor, Zappa, and Isabel Espinoza are going to try to... They've dispatched Cameron Jackson now. But Ishibashi has to come in. Ishibashi has an issue, and she does the correct thing. The big question right now is, if this keeps going, when does it stop? When did the team start pulling drivers off the track? Getting reports that Ishibashi's car was smoking on the restart. It stopped smoking, and then she still pulled it in. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. It's Parker and Saldi, and then Glover across the line. Parker's already dropped back almost outside of the top 5. Take a look at the helicopter cam here. There is 7 cars in this lead pack. Kaylee Zappa was involved in that last accident. Same with Rachel Koivanami. So the contenders for the race win have been narrowed down tremendously. in less than a quarter of the race. Brave move from Portichelli, and there we go again. Parker moved out of the way. That was a very bold strap. Portichelli made the right call. Portichelli moves high. Kurchenko doesn't even acknowledge that they're coming. Kurchenko doesn't even acknowledge. How many drivers are even left? Looks like Kurchenko's out, finally. Ray Taylor's out. Wessel's out. Kurchenko's finally out. Cody Blackman's out. At one point, there was the idea that Homestead would take over the place that St. Pete's occupied for so long, and that was becoming the first race of the American part of the calendar. No, there's no way. Think about how many drivers left the series at the end of 2018. You look at people like Astrid Crane, Sebastian Devereaux, Adrian Regis, Jordan Fisher, Victor Santos, Michael White. Races like this are why. Races like this are why. Even when you go out of your way to ensure that accidents like this don't happen, drivers will be drivers. They're going to do stuff that only hindsight can tell you if it's good or bad. Safeguards were in place, and none of it helped. The chassis were more sensitive. They were made more sensitive for a reason. So that way drivers couldn't do what Kurchenko just did. The tire wear was increased to make drivers have to spread out more. We haven't had to spread out because we haven't had a green flag run long enough. A giant wake-up call. Tracks like Homestead can be extremely entertaining, but they're also dangerous. I wouldn't be surprised if Homestead doesn't come back. This is something crazy. And even another accident. That's Cameron Jackson. That was Cameron Jackson that was involved in that one. He has been several laps down. Looks like it might have been only him. Porter Kelly moved him. Porter Kelly simply moved the 19 car. There's no way of looking at that. If you want to see drivers emotions right now, that's that. Knowing a penalty comes out for that. She just threw him out of the way. That is bold. Not very often you see that. If these drivers can't handle a 1.5 mile track that can support 3 wide, what are we going to do when they go to a place like Iowa or Richmond or a place that requires finesse? Oh, literally, I've seen drivers get moved before. I've seen drivers get moved before. I've not seen that. That was as blatant as it gets. I can't recall. I can't recall a race. I can't recall a Homestead race being this bad. I can't recall a past Homestead race being this bad. 2017 wasn't like this. 2016 wasn't like this. So we're about to go green again. Rachel Clavanamy is leading. Then it's Kaylee Zappa, Nicole Lechty, Kinemisa Kenoshita, BK Glover, and Isabel Espinoza. And we're back to green. Clavanamy gets to hold out front for a little bit. There's 16 drivers left in this race. We are on lap 65. It's Porter Kelly, Glover, and Espinoza. They pulled away from Ansaldi, Marcelli, and the rest of the field so far. You'd have to imagine that the race stewards are looking at Porter Kelly with a magnifying glass right now. How she has not been black flagged. is beyond my imagination right now. Cameron Jackson's still on the track. And almost another one. Yeah, Ishibashi, who is one lap down. Ishibashi's going to try to force her way back to the lead lap, I guess, is what we're looking at here. Ishibashi in the red and white Vodafone car. Slots in third in line. It's Porter Kelly, then Insaldi. BK Glover in the yellows in third. Patrick Marcelli sitting fifth, and he's sitting well outside the bubble for the draft. Here's a group of three. They're going to take the high line here. Going to try to go. BK Glover has to check up, but does make it happen. And Saldi's going to look to the inside now. We're going to look for a lead change. A lead change here. And Saldi to the front. Ishibashi's going to try to use this momentum. Because if she can get in front of Insaldi, then that is a very easy and straightforward way back on the lead lap. As polarizing as Stryker has been today, they're 1-2 at the moment. Kurachenko's out. And Saldi leads. Porter Kelly's wrecked a car and is still allowed to race for some reason. Jackson's trying to stay out of the way. Shouldn't be on track with how much damage he sustained. Ishibashi's trying to get her lap back here. She's going to stay in front of Porter Kelly. And Saldi's going to use this opportunity to try to regain the lead. And put Ishibashi back down a lap. Battle between teammates is dominating what's up front right now. It's Insaldi, the rookie, and 2016 IndyCar World Champ Stephanie Porter Kelly. That's all it's been. Glover's lost the draft now because of navigating lap traffic. He's stuck with Isabel Espinoza. That is third and fourth. That's a battle for podium. There's fifth. Half a lap down. Patrick Marcelli, and then it's Kaylee Zappa in the 17. And Koivanami. All that's for position right there. Nicole Lecty's further back. That's 8th. 9th is Keisha Fox. 10th is Esther Hofson. And then it's Kinemitsu Kinoshita. And then you're looking several laps down. You're looking at Tyler Parker, who just went a lap down. Yeah, Ronald Walker, who's 4 laps down. Alicia Kovalkiewicz is 4 laps down. Oh! That was a hard hit. Porter Kelly sent it in turn 1. As if Kovalkiewicz's day couldn't go from bad to worse. An absolute hip check. To the inside, and boom. Stays off the wall herself, but takes out 2 lap cars. My goodness. And Ishibashi didn't get her lap back. As a result of all of that, Ishibashi did not get her lap back. Wow. And that is a hard hit. There's no good way of enduring that. That's a hard hit. I guess the sponsor for this race should have been Barnum and Bailey instead of Coca-Cola, because this is a circus. It's Insaldi to the lead. Kovalkiewicz is out, understandably so. Cameron Jackson's 10 laps down. Ronald Walker, we like to believe they're trying to work on the car. You see them having it up on the jack. They're working on the right side. They got it rolling. Why? I mean, at this point, I get it. There's a possible top 10 right here. The team haven't spent any money on upgrades. They've got a whole bunch of spare parts around, I'm assuming. We have an injured driver. We have others that are shaken after their accidents. And Porter Kelly gets away with taking out 2 more lap cars in one go. Not even the slightest hint of damage. Not even the slightest hint of damage. Kenosha's going to lead the field to green because she's not a lap down technically, but she doesn't get a wave around. We're about to go green here. Kenosha will lead us off. We're green. And we're not even halfway. They're going to try to put Kenosha lap down, and they're going to do so with relative ease. It's an interesting gap that Ansaldi has on the rest of the field right now. Ansaldi, then Glover in the yellow and blue. Ishibashi's a lap down, but that's because of an electronical issue. So Ishibashi's got the pace. She just didn't get her lap back on that last yellow. And then Isabel Espinosa's just kind of sitting here. And no one's even close. Rachel Koivanemi is about to score her first top 5 just by existing. That's rough. So we're looking here. It's a battle for literally the win right now is between these top 3 right now. I say for the win. I talked about tire wear being worse than before because they were trying to spread it out and not make it a pack race. I just want to see a green flag pit stop. Can that happen, please? Let's have some strategy coming to this. They're already catching up to Cameron Jackson and Ronald Walker, if that doesn't explain how damaged they are. Almost a horrible disaster right there. Glover just checked out. And Salty being polite. Still moving him out of the way, but not wrecking them. Glover just checked out in the process. Took the high line and went. Now it'll be interesting to see how quickly the field can get back to him. It's already nighttime. We haven't even got halfway through this race. It's already pitch black out now. Is there a full moon? So they are slowly coming back here. Espinosa just hanging back, it looks like. They're gonna look high. Ishibashi trapped herself there behind her teammate. Tyler Parker, his rivalry with Escuderia Guia in full display because he deliberately blocked Isabel Espinosa. So she's completely out of the draft now. Okay, it looks like she did get by. She's lingering heavily. We're looking at the gap. There's 15 cars left. Almost half the field is done. Ishibashi's back up with the top three, and Salty's taking on the house on the high side. Getting past Kenoshita with relative ease. Kenoshita took the high line. They will split Cameron Jackson. We are one lap from halfway. We made it to halfway. And this is what the battles look like. It's been Porter Kelly and Salty and BK Glover. And the red and white car of Sakura Ishibashi is just trying to get back on lead lap. This is the entire basis of the race right now. This is it. These are the only cars Ishibashi's in the wall. These were the only cars that are not damaged. These three. How Porter Kelly's not damaged is beyond me. She's put 3 cars in the wall. They're going past one of them. Lecty was on the apron. She's off the track, so it shouldn't cause a caution. But it looks like another car's out. That puts us down to 14, it looks like. As the leaders approach Ronald Walker. Pretty decent move there to split him. Coming out of turn 4. Lecty did make it to pit lane. There's the 4th place car. Isabel Espinoza. Way far away, almost 10 seconds back. Marcelli and Rachel Coivanami. Coming up on Cameron Jackson. They're being a bit careful. Kaylee Zappa and Keisha Fox. That's 7th and 8th. 9th is Esther Hobson. She's the next one getting ready to go a lap down. This doesn't seem safe. But they'll make it work. Glover to the inside and Salty to the outside. Porter-Kelly looks like she'll make a move to the inside. Hoffman's not terribly slow, just a little bit of suspension damage, not allowing her to stay with the leaders. Whatever the problem was with Lecty's car, they fixed it because she's back out. She just pulled out behind Hoffman. Threading the needle with Cameron Jackson. Oh boy. Not sure what it is with all the poor timed passes that Porter-Kelly's been pulling off, but it's a bit ridiculous. Top three has spread out a little bit, and Salty has taken the lead and kind of run with it. Glover's trying to hold on to him. To everyone that's just now tuning in that didn't see at all anything of the previous 112 laps, we've had, I lost count of 8 cautions. I believe we've had 8 cautions at this point. We're down to 14 cars. We're waiting for the full medical report on Gerard Perth and Jace Clark. Multiple drivers are out due to accidents. Andrew Draco, David Wessel are cleared from the Enfield Medical Center. Natalia Karachenko is another one of those out. We are at 6 cars left on the lead lap. Keisha Fox is a lap down now. Kaylee Zappa, Esther Hofstead, Sakura Ishibashi. That's the top 10. 7th through 10th are a lap down. Rachel Clay and Amy. Last car on the lead lap at the moment. It's Giuliano and Salty. You're looking at him. He's leading. BK Glover in the yellow. Stephanie Porter-Kelly behind them. Trying to hold on. Trying to possibly get back to them. I don't see it happening very easily, but... And Salty is her teammate, so he might work on it. Isabel Espinosa's over half a second back, and that's 4th. Glover's going to try to make a move for the lead. But that's a summary of the first half of this race. The 79 and the 22 are going to begin swapping the lead back and forth, it looks like. They have a second and a half clear on Porter-Kelly. You can see her just out of frame now. It's in Salty, then Glover, Porter-Kelly. It's been this way for... Well, it's been this way since about lap 62. Over half the race at this point. Looks like Koivanami is coming up next for them. Portichelli's dropped 2 seconds behind the leaders, so it's now a 2-horse race. They've got to navigate Ronald Walker. Glover does so with ease. It's already backed up a little bit, but kept it safe. And Salty's been one of the few drivers that have kept it safe all race, Glover being the other one. Everyone else has damage of some kind or has caused damage. Coming up on Koivanami now. Koivanami has been able to kind of hang in there a little bit. Koivanami and Salty coming in. Green flag pit stops are happening now. Portichelli comes in as well. So that makes Glover the race leader. Surely he'll be coming in at some point shortly. And Glover's not going to wait long. He's going to come in this time. So there's Insaldi and Portichelli. Insaldi comes out of pit lane now. Where does Glover come out of pit lane? That is a big question. Glover's out of turn 2. He is well ahead of Insaldi and Portichelli. Insaldi can work with Ishibashi. Ishibashi's able to hold pace. Wow. Ron Walker came from the middle of the track to cut off Marcelli when Marcelli had just gotten his lap back. That is rough. Insaldi's trying to get back to him. Trying to keep it a 2-horse race. Insaldi takes the lead here. Still battling pretty hard. And Salty and Glover are not giving each other any room. Trying to navigate 4 wide there for a moment there as they navigated. I believe that was Cameron Jackson. An interesting clump of cars because Isabel Espinosa is trying to stay on the lead lap. You have Glover and Itzardi who are just racing for the lead. You have Lecty who's multiple laps down. We are approaching lap 141 out of 200, and there's not much to look at. You're looking at the battle for the lead. That's all that's going on at the moment. There's 3 cars left on the lead lap. Giuliano and Salty and BK Glover, the ones front and center. And then Stephanie Porter Kelly is 10 seconds behind and losing. She lost the draft trying to deal with lap traffic. We are approaching the 3/4 of the way point, which is lap 150. The battle's still waging. There's one pit stop left in this race. And it is a 2-horse race between Glover and Ansaldi. This race will come down as being one of the most bizarre races of recent memory. A lot of discussion. A lot of... There's going to be a lot of repercussions out of this race. The question is, who blinks first? Is it going to be Ansaldi to take his pit stop first, or will it be Glover? We have 14 cars left. Cameron Jackson is officially out of this race. This has been a very arduous journey. But the laps are ticking down. 25-second laps is what we're running here at Homestead. They're going to try to split Kenosha here, it looks like. Nope, Kenosha will go high for him. And they'll stay side by side going into turn 1. We're officially at the 3/4 of the mark point. And my English is just about as bad as this race. 3/4 distance is where we're at. Let's ignore that last sentence even existed. It's Ansaldi, then Glover. Ansaldi at this point, I'm almost certain, has most laps led in the book. I'm almost certain of it. A little bit of a gap now between Ansaldi and Glover. Thanks to lap traffic. Ansaldi now gets to pick off Esther Hofson to put her 3 laps down. And no issues doing that. Oh, whoa, hold on. Well, just when you think you know the answer, there's an issue, and Ansaldi has to come to the pit lane. Was that a planned pit stop or not? Because that's not what a planned pit stop normally looks like. couldn't have been a planned pit stop. The caution is out, and it is for It looks like Tyler Parker is involved, and Isabel Espinoza. We'll look to see what happened here. This happened during an Insalti pit stop, which I believe was tire based. I believe it was for a flat tire, but I'm not certain. Bad blood between Parker and Espinoza. And that's where that gets you. That's years of bad blood between Tyler Parker and the Espinoza family. Ansaldi is now one lap down. This does pull Porter Kelly a lot closer. Gives her another chance at it. This will hopefully be the final caution of the race. This has been a very, very rough go. We are down to 12 cars. 12 cars left in this race out of 26. The madness of this race. Lights are on the pace car, which means we are going green this very next time by. Get ready to go green. You can hear the downshifts. Preparing for this to be the run to the finish. We are back to green. Salty's back on the lead lap, albeit barely. He's going to need a miracle. Right now, all Glover has to do is sit behind that Salty. That's all he has to do. Doesn't have to battle him. Doesn't have to do anything. Just sit behind him. Weird move by Glover to try to make a decision like that. That will cost him time. Coming to 30 laps to go. Glover is sitting by himself right now. This is going to put things into interesting circumstances. There will be a battle for this race win, it looks like, between Glover and Stephanie Porter-Kelly. So here's the battle, coming to 22 to go. It's Porter-Kelly and Glover. Marcelli's trying to get his lap back. If these two can battle, Marcelli can hang with them. It'll make for very interesting podium conversations. Koivu-Niemi's in this conversation as well. She's lingering back behind Marcelli there, coming out turn 4. To everyone that's tuned in, the patience has been appreciated because this has been a very long race. But we're almost to the finish line here. Coming to 20 to go. Walker stays out of the way on the high side. $18 to go. It does look like Ansaldi's pulling away here. Seems like he'll be difficult to get a hold of. So as it stands, the battle's for the lead, and then it'll be for 4th between, well, it would have been between Marcelli and Koivu-Niemi, but Koivu-Niemi is out of the draft now, so she's kind of just hanging around for the next 16 laps. 16 to go at the line. 12 cars left in the running. What has been a disaster of a race. What was supposed to be a build-up for the Indianapolis 500 Instead, it will be a rebuild. Porticali coming in the pit lane. That is unusual. Don't believe that was a planned pit stop. They should have been able to make it from the last yellow. And Salty's coming in. So is the Shibashi. Maybe it's not so certain that they can make it. A wrench has been thrown into the plan here. Can they make it? And is it a fuel related issue or is it tires? Questions now suddenly appearing in the very late stage of this race. Glover's still going, Marcelli's still going. Oh no, oh no, no! Oh my. Caution out. From the race lead. Rachel Clavanamy is inheriting the lead of this race. And now it's going to be Porticali. Marcelli's out with a clutch. In one swoop, BK Glover's out of this race after a spectacular crash. Marcelli loses his clutch. 12 laps from the finish. We're going to take a look at this. Spin. That is the slowest airborne crash I have seen in a very long time. Let's take a look at this. This race was in the bag, and he takes a dive at the 97, who was already committed. I cannot blame Ronald Walker for that. He slows. That side impact was pretty harsh. That side impact was a bit brutal there, but And there's that impact that shoves him into the air. Yeah, it's directly into the side pod and never in danger of hitting the catch fence cockpit first. The only, and this speaks volumes, because of how late this accident happened, BK Glover still finishing top 10. Obviously, you would expect that he would be all right. The impact he took was to the side pod, and it was a relatively graceful airborne crash compared to what we've seen. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see. I'm not going to spend too much time dissecting it more than what we already have. What a race. Porter Kelly, Rachel Coivanami, Giuliano Insaldi, Keisha Fox, Kaylee Zappa, Sakura Shibashi, Esther Hofson, Nicole Lechty, and Kinemitsu Kinoshita are the ones left running. We have 9 cars left in this race. Wow. That is hard to process. It'll be interesting to see the drivers' thoughts on this one. The teams are going to be freaking out. A lot of teams did not come to Homestead expecting to spend millions of dollars on wrecked vehicles. But that's become the reality. And it's all on the drivers. Drivers taking it 4 wide, drivers making ambitious moves on lap cars pretending that they're the only ones on track. Very reckless driving tonight. Very reckless. We're coming to 8 to go. And there's your race leader, center screen. She's been the center of a lot of controversy tonight. But she's going to lead the field to green. There we go. Koivanami sitting behind her. Koivanami's the only person that can challenge her. Koivanami snaking in there. Koivanami is really trying to push it. There's a buffer between Porticelli and Rachel Koivanami. Koivanami is a wounded car. But she's trying to stick it in. Trying to hold in and see what she can make of it. Coming to 5 to go next time. The most controversial driver in this race is about to win. 4 laps to go this time. Don't let this take away from the fact that Rachel Koivanami is about to score her first ever podium finish when it seemed like her season was about to end early. Highlight Racing was heavily contemplating moving to a one-car operation. Porticelli hasn't had a penalty. She hasn't been black flagged. She hasn't been parked. We've heard nothing. For wrecking 3 cars. Cameron Jackson, Ronald Walker, Alicia Kovalkiewicz. Next lap's the last one. And this has been something you witness. 1 to go. Porticelli leads it. Koivanami gave it a shot, but it's not going to be enough. The 2016 IndyCar World Champion has a lot of answering to do. But she'll take the checkered flag first. Here in Homestead. But all the props in the world should be absolutely given to Rachel Koivanami. I would not be surprised at all if there's a petition to have the 84 disqualified if they aren't already investigating it. There's contact between Ishibashi and Porticelli after the finish. Some displeasure voiced by Sakura Ishibashi after the race. But this one's over. This one's over. Porticelli provisionally takes the checkered flag first. Rachel Koivanami, with her best finish of her career, her only top 5 of her career so far, finishing second. Giuliano Insaldi finishing third. Kaylee Zappa fourth. Keisha Fox fifth. Sakura Shibashi finishes 6th. Esther Hofson with a 7th, rebounding from St. Petersburg. If you can even call this a rebound. 6 laps down is Kinemitsu Kinoshita and Nicole Lechty, and they were the last finishers. BK Glover out, finishes 10th. And it's Patrick Marcelli, Arnold Walker, Isabel Espinoza, Tyler Parker, Cameron Jackson, Alicia Kovalkiewicz, Ray Taylor, David Wessel, Natalia Kurachenko, Cody Blackman, Mildred Moon, Christina Espinoza, Simona Leroux, Andrew Draco, Jace Clark, and Gerard Perth. And almost all of those DNFs are because of accidents. Reckless, senseless accidents. Normally, we send this off with a good message. You know, like we had at St. Pete, it was crazy, but it was sensible. Brno was crazy, and there was a bit of argy-bargy, but it made sense. Same with Phillip Island, and Motegi was just a straight-up fight. I can't call this anything but a disaster. For the sake of good racing, the next race needs to be better. It's Indianapolis. There's no excuse. There's no excuse for this. And on that note, we're going to head off. The Indianapolis 500 in 2 weeks' time. There's a lot of questions that need answered before then. For those that tuned in and endured this, I hope you tune in then too. Where does Champ Car go from here? Until next time, I'm Clayton Hardy, and for Champ Car, I'm signing off.